Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. So it's going to be slightly different, and I appreciate it probably sounds a little bit different as well because I'm using my actual PC microphone rather than what I've been doing recently for the war videos. But I wanted to do a quick chat about this Alliance War Season 36 changelog and loyalty store update that Kabam have dropped on everybody today. So let's start here. We all know that the season is ending, so I hope everybody got what they wanted, were expecting. Rewards should be following anytime soon. I'd say probably in the next few hours, probably by the time this video goes live, because I'll schedule it to be in the morning UK time. So yeah, we've got this. They're talking right at the start here about this massive update to the loyalty store, the new attack tactic, and a rotation of expert tactics. So already an update to the loyalty store rings alarm bells in your head. There's nothing else to say about it. Alarm bells. Pre-season, so obviously that's the off season that starts now. Everyone's hopefully gonna chill out, enjoy the time when they don't have to stress about war, especially if you're fighting for one of the top spots. Like personally, I had a relaxed season away from GT40 where I have been for many seasons, and for my personal self it was probably better just because of how close this season actually was in terms of top couple of spots. I think by the end of the war season itself and the position we're in now, there was 4, maybe 5 attack bonus difference between first and second throughout the whole season. That's crazy. That's by far the closest I've seen it for a little while. And with these changes to the war that we're about to read into, I can say that I was quite happy to have stepped away for a moment. So, the major Alliance War rewards update this season comes to the loyalty store. Okay, let's see what this is. You'll be able to spend loyalty on valuable champion upgrade materials. Okay, first up, the fact that we can spend this loyalty on champion upgrade materials, fantastic. Kabam have been giving out materials and rank up materials and things like that for a little while now, especially rank 4s. It's getting pushed in that way, so at least people have a way to be able to buy resources too. The way that the implementation and the change is going to happen, I don't like, but again, we'll come up to that in a second. So these are talking about how these materials are the most prized in the game, and for a Paragon player such as myself, you can see here that, yeah, okay, I completely agree with that statement. These signature stones, Awakening Gem, Crystal, okay, it's annoying that it's random, but we can deal with that. These resources that'll help people for rank 4 materials and for new rank 4s, so hopefully we can help people to be able to do up some more champions that they really like, maybe a few more battlegrounds, rank ups and stuff for people that want to really push in that game mode, because obviously we know that that's kind of the up and coming game mode that Kabam are really trying to put on people. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to change this loyalty from, in their like quotation here, being a fringe currency into something that's very valuable. Now, anybody who has been competing at the top level boosts well, use power back boosts, use the grade boost constantly, heals all the time with potions back to full on the champions, will know that in no way is loyalty a fringe currency. This, to come out of a comment like that, shows just how little Kabam have actually been paying attention to the top tier of alliances. because the fact of how much these potions alone even cost is nuts. Like, it's absolutely crazy. In terms of like a tier 1 war win, I think you get like 75k loyalty or something like that. I think it's 75. So even if you won every war of the season, you'd still wouldn't technically get enough for an Awakening Gem Crystal. I'm just going to check actually quickly that I am right in what I'm saying. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to load the game up on my phone underneath me. But it's nuts. Like, okay, I like the fact that you can now buy these things, but it's very, very weird and kind of seems unnecessary. So tier 1 war win. So you get what? 84,200. So with 84,200 loyalty, if you were to win all 12 wars, you get 1,010,400 loyalty. Just from the wars alone, winning every single war you go into, using 0 loyalty all season, you can get away with buying a 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal with what they've suggested. Like, this for me is mental. Like I said, I like the fact that we can buy things, but I don't like the way it's being implemented. A lot of people have already dropped out their YouTube videos talking about their disappointment, the disgust, the upset, the anger. A couple of people kind of seen it differently as well, and that's just kind of on them. But it's a weird one where I think that this is going to take away some part of the competitive side of Alliance War. They talk about in this like section here where they're talking about how they just gave people that recently an update to Alliance War rewards, which they did. Like, I can like confirm that, yeah, okay, the reward buff was nice, but realistically right now we are getting resources from other parts of the game which outweigh a potential really serious war push, because by the time you've gone through, like, I was an officer when I was in GT40, albeit some people called me a very casual officer, but I still like to get involved and help out with planning defense and the execution of the war and things like that. So it was a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of care that was put into the game mode, to which I think personally it needed to be the highest and best reward in the game. Okay, again, Battlegrounds, people might argue that as well, but that's just what like that is. Maybe them two can be high up there together, but Alliance War deserves to have its place in the game as a competitive game mode where you rely on coordination, teamwork, your own personal skill, your roster, your game knowledge. It deserves to still have its chance and to be the game mode and the team game mode, because everybody's bored of AQ. The rewards for AQ are frankly terrible, and nobody sees that as anything other than just a bore. A lot of alliances are starting to even just completely drop AQ, maybe go to like map 5s, where they actually gain some resources from like participating in the map and doing the map. So that shows you exactly the position that we're going to push war, but then drop in AQ. But with these changes, obviously, like they said in this phrase in here, that they're not going to. They did not get a chance to update them this season because of their work to update the loyalty store. They're going to do this so that we can expect an update later this year. So, what's weird is the fact that they've now decided to change the power boost too. So, these power boosts will be set to a loyalty cost and a 1 per week purchase limit. So for a lot of people who would main a champion, say like APOC or Corvus or Ghost or someone like that, maybe even a Spidey 99 with the science ones, you're now going to be limited to one of these a week. So you can have for 10,000 loyalty or 15,000 loyalty, you can have one 200% and one 150% class boost of that class to use over 3 wars. What? Sorry, what? That. I understand people wanted power boost gone. I kind of understood it. I do think that would make the game slightly different and funny, to see how kind of more matchups would happen. But to do this is just, again, it's kind of a kick in the teeth to a lot of the people who, as you're going to see in this next phrase in here, aren't going to be spending units. So they're putting unit costs on these as well, so you can then buy as many as you want, but you've just got to spend units. So you grind out that arena, you go into that hell with a game mode, and you sit there and you play it to get some units for, I don't know, unit offers that come up at like a couple of times a year. You really grind it out and make sure you get the milestones, and you kind of suffer, but you know the suffering's worth it because you're getting some units out of it. You can now use them to buy power back boost if you really want. But why would you? In the nicest respect, why would you? It makes no sense. Like, I know a few people within GT40, obviously, still, that I speak to all the time. When the Grey Boost update came out, I said, God, nobody's going to pay for units for them. Like, are you joking? This is a robbery. Like, no one's going to spend all them units to be able to buy one invuln boost. And I know of people who have got to the point within the sort of their campaign, the season campaign, who have used up that many of the Grey boosts that they've then ended up having to buy them with units. And that's just not where they want to be. It bothers them every time they do it. And I can completely understand that. I think it's outrageous that you can kind of just pay your way through it. But it's the way that the game's going. Now, before people start jumping on me, bashing me, and doing whatever, I'm not exactly free to play every so often. I do dabble. But I don't ever spend crazy, and I don't personally really hate the fact that people spend. I think that obviously people need to spend on the game to keep it going, because people like me don't really help them out that much, and that's just being honest. I do think that people that spend deserve to have an advantage over people that maybe don't spend or choose not to spend. I completely understand that, and I think people have started to see that in the Alliance Wars and the AQ kind of scores that some of the top alliances are getting. You're also seeing it in Battlegrounds a little bit, where people's rosters now are just absolutely incredibly big. July the 4th just set so many people's rosters on flames. It's ridiculous how good a lot of people's accounts came. But to put these class boosts as you can buy as many as you want, just you have to spend this many units. Like if someone was running CGR, for example, and they wanted to do 2 sections of CGR, using only CGR, they wanted to put on the Cosmic Power Back boost, you're looking a minimum of 375 units to be able to complete that, or 500 units if you really want to be sure and you use the 200% class power boost. Now you imagine you're spending 500 units a war. So the course of the Alliance War season, you're spending 6,000 units just on, I don't know, cosmic power bike boost. To which then you probably spend 1,000 units on probably the Cav EQ unit offer that dropped out in this last month. You probably then spend maybe, I don't know, another 3,000 units on the 6-hour war boost too, just to make sure that you've always got enough to be competing at the top level. So your average spend of a season, if you really wanted to go nuts like that, would be 10,000 units every 40 days. That's absolutely mental. That's not even worth thinking about. So I can't really understand where this has come from, where they think doing it this way is a good idea. I can't confirm it, but I don't know if anyone has ever reached out and looked to the top alliances, the top tiers, and said, do you think this is a good idea? What do you think? Let's have your opinions. Because I can't imagine many, if any, top alliances would have said, oh yeah, this sounds like a great idea, let's do this. It kind of goes against everything. Most alliances, in my opinion now, will probably stop being as competitive. You'll get the odd one or two that still push for it, and they'll be the ones that kind of spend more. You might even find some alliances that still kind of compete at a high standard just because of their profiles and their actual skill and ability in the game. So they won't be at the point where they're having to spend so much to be able to compete. They're pretty standard and safe. And it'll be nice for them. But for other people who have to spend to be able to compete, to try, and just to be able to, sometimes you need a power bike boost or something just to be able to clear a fight without knowing you're going to die. It's just shady as, yeah, I probably shouldn't go the rest of the way. But I can see this killing, or at least really, really harming the Alliance War game mode of the game itself. While I was in GT40, obviously I managed to win War Champs a few times, and we kind of did it without spending crazy for the most part. There was a few people that did spend on the game, and again, whenever I talk about these whales and the fact that they spend all this money, I'm only jealous that they have they can do that and they will do that. I'm just mad jealous. It's just not for me. I don't really want to, and this kind of really kicks people in a position to what I probably would class myself as, really in the teeth. It's just, it leaves a very, very weird taste in your mouth. So the other thing that I'm looking through this, and we've got this newer tactic that's coming in 37 or whatever. Okay, that's fair enough. There's no changes. I'm not even bothering properly looking into that because I can't even see that really making a big difference. You can see them all on here. It is all in this forum post. Every change there. What I'm shocked about is this. So the bans for 36. So from now, for this whole next season of 36, Human Torch and Hercules are always banned. Where have they got this data from? Where? I think in maybe one Alliance War this season, I've come up against an alliance that hasn't banned Ghost. And I think most of the top tier, tier 1, tier 2, are probably in exactly the same position of everybody's banned Ghost. So how is Ghost not in this blacklist? Human Torch was an obvious one. Everyone was always banning Human Torch. But Ghost is always banned. APOC frequently got banned. There is no way, if they just took this data from the tier 1 or tier 2, whatever, that Hercules would have been banned more than Ghost. I just can't understand a way that could possibly exist. Because, yes, Hercules is very strong. He's probably considered overpowered. But Ghost was constantly banned, just the same as Human Torch. And it makes me just think, like, wow, what a crazy time, because you got to the point of now where they've made these war changes. People are going to be like, ugh, not bothered about war anymore. Already seen quite a few posts talking about how people are going to just take it a time and probably just relax with war now. Maybe go to like an AQ alliance or something like that to still get some decent rewards and increase their glory spends to get over materials. But as someone who didn't want to spend, or someone who didn't want to push prestige massively, to be able to compete at the top, GT40 was perfect. We didn't ever look at prestige. We looked at like ability and like your compatibility within the alliance, and how you compete in alliance war pretty solely was the main kind of threshold for people, between defensive rank ups, attacker rank ups, and just your overall skill on the game. And this just makes you question all of it. Again, I doubt many people have got to the end of this video, but what I'd be quite keen to do is get like a few other people from other top alliances on, and we'll just kind of have a quick chat and talk about how we think that the game mode is gonna go and what's gonna happen next. But hopefully we can get that going. I'd really like to get other people involved and get other people's opinions, because again, I talk to a lot of people in a lot of top alliances anyway, like every day. So for me, it'd just be kind of interesting to get it out there and kind of see what people are actually saying, rather than just typing in line chats. But again, thank you very much for listening to this video. The rant needed to happen. I'm sorry. I like the fact, again, I'm going to specify it and make it quite obvious. I like the fact that you can spend loyalty to buy extra things, because I'm someone that has like all my potions full, all my boosts kind of full. I've still got like 2 million loyalty, I think, left over. I'm in a very fortunate position. But the way that they've done it, and the way that it's just been released now, is terrible. And that's not going to change. Thank you for watching. If you've got any comments, feedback, or anything else, obviously hit it up in the section. And please feel free to share this video around to raise the awareness of it. Thank you very much.